Okay. Hopefully I didn't go in too soon then. Oh yeah, you guys can continue. I just wanted to make sure I got that timing because I couldn't see them with what I had set up. So you were saying blue box, and just so everyone knows, you are audio live, just not a camera live. We'll be going to camera live here soon. Everyone can hear us. Yes. Ka-chow. That's a good one. Horse. Horse. It's his chair. It's his chair. There's an so Manda says that there's an echo. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. Oh, you know what? Hey, yeah. Thanks, Manda. What time are we looking at? Yeah. As long as I get taller. We can go ahead. We can also probably go ahead and go live. We'll go ahead and figure out. And I need a fourth monitor, thanks to you, Tom. I mean, I can adjust the camera. You could stand up a little bit. We could figure it out. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so we will go live now. And Katie, we will introduce your character once if we might not. We should, though. I would assume so. Get to that point. So just avoided her. And you are video live now, too. Yeah. No, I just have hit. No, because Katie wanted to get out to fix her mic. Yeah, I'm fixing your Zoom view, but yes. So while I fix the cameras and we get started, let's go ahead. What's up? How about now? That shouldn't be it though. Nope. Not nope to the Zoom thing. Nope to. Everything's the same. You go ahead. You guys speak. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me. You guys can see that for a second. I actually think I know what it is. How about now? Yeah. Yeah, like you guys need to talk. Can you guys hear them? I think what it will. No, she loves you too. 1 second. Nope, still not. Okay. I had to check something before then. Also play. Okay, so now say what, Tom? Yep. In Streamlabs? So you guys pick up now. Audio input, screen sharing, desktop. You're gonna have to break this down for me, Tom. I don't know where to go. Like, there's the desk. It should just be picking up from the desktop. So let me re-input the desktop pickup source, which would be audio capture. Cancel. 1 second. I'm audio output, audio input, audio output capture. There's one on my. There should also be an audio output capture, right? Okay, well, I just deleted that. Oh, let's take that back. I don't know. Sure you can. I can. What do you want me to add? Okay, so you want me to take this one off then? Audio input. new. Okay, now what? Zoom from players.
Zoom from players.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, I can hear myself now. Yay.
Okay. So I can just close that one now, right?
Yep. Go ahead and close it. So everyone should hear us now.
Wait.
And
Will
Manda
for a
just said
second.
it. Okay.
Wait, because now I got to do it here too. They're not going to hear you now. Audio input capture. New.
Wow!
I say that to everyone, though.
Shots fired.
Audio input capture. Could have just like copied that each time, but whatever. Zoom from players.
Get that phase of technology.
That
Okay,
was
you
a
guys
great
should all
time.
be able to be heard now.
Okay.
Hello? Success.
Stop sharing.
Hopefully.
Hello?
Yep, I can hear it.
Can you hear us? Yay! I'm still
Yay.
Raja though. I'm playing Raja today.
I will get that. I'll get that fixed. Thank you, everyone.
That's not that difficult.
I will get everything fixed. Thank you, everyone, for hanging through that technical issue. Tom
It's just my fault.
Yeah, well, kind of. Tom has been working pretty tirelessly to make it so that all the players could actually, or can now actually hear the music and the sounds. So for the last 14 sessions, they actually haven't been able to hear any of the joys that you can. So a little hiccup. That should be good going forward, though. So appreciate that. And we can go ahead and start with, just like we normally do, character introductions. Just a little bit of something about your character, what they look like, maybe something about where they're currently at, thinking, doing, whatever the case might be. Name, race, class, all that kind of stuff, level. And we'll go from Raja to Jubilee. Then Vantalord. And then if you want to do a real quick, what happened last time, and then Cricket. Well, that went that.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Katie, we will go ahead and introduce you if we will get to that point.
If not, you can just enjoy my visual reactions to
There you
everything
go.
that's happening.
Absolutely. So Raja, if you want to go ahead and kick it off.
Play Raja, level 3, Ifrit Rogue. Where we are, I think we're at the house. After coming back from the circus. Basically the coolest guy here because I can do fire tornado spinny things. Yeah.
Okay. Jubilee.
Everyone, I'm Jubilee. I am half-elf rogue. Not rogue, I'm a bard. I was paying attention to Rasha.
So Jubilee is currently dealing with a whole lot of trauma. She was just at the circus. She just saw her parents, and she just saw Morren Duke, who she hasn't seen in quite a while, who has been hunting her down for a little bit now. So he has been incredibly aware that she's been around, but she didn't know how aware he was. So here we are. We love a good traumatic backstory. Here we go.
Yeah, okay. Well, I am Vantalord. I am a dwarf paladin, level 3, and my brain is still trying to make heads or tails of what the base of the statue said that I saw earlier in the day. For those that don't know, this is what it said. Within the realm of twisted sight, where left is right and day is night, a pane of truth does gleam so bright. Reflect on the guardians of might, and reveal the sigils hidden from sight. So my brain's trying to figure out what that is, as not only as a player, but as a character. So, yeah, that leads us into the recap of session 14 for those that didn't get to see it on June 6th. We started the session after Jubilee had been pulled around the corner during the last watch of the night. She was met by Ignacia, who seemed to be fighting a second personality. During the fight and talking with Jubilee and just having that entire encounter, his personality reached out, called for help, and said, "Remember the flyer, remember the pattern." And Jubilee got scared, called for help, and my character came around the corner and pretty much scared Ignacia off. After this, Jubilee and myself went and woke the rest of the group. After I made the vital mistake of giving Jubilee 2 pans. And yes, exactly. And we decided to make plans to look for the circus and get a lay of the land and the statue, which I thought could be holding the power of the curse as a physical rune. During the day, the group decided to split up, and we found the people looking for volunteers. We went to the circus, and we acted like we were volunteers that were meant to be there. Jubilee ended up having to put on a disguise, and the rest of us just tried to get a lay of the land to look for different things that we had predetermined. After several tasks, I found that the statue had been placed where the final resting spot would be for the circus, and read that inscription on the base. But the weirdest thing is, no matter how close I got to the statue, it appeared to do the opposite of what I wanted. So if I move one way, it moved the opposite way. If I get closer to it, it moved further away. Very, very weird, but didn't have any evil presence around it. Finally, as Jubilee was bringing food to the main performance, she ran into Morren, who kind of acted like he didn't know her, until he whispered something to her, saying it'd be good if you weren't already part of the circus, which caused some more trauma for Jubilee. And then when we got back to the house, I accidentally caused even more trauma for Jubilee by saying, hopefully the certain number of syllables.
I forgot that you did that.
I know, that horrible will save at the end of the night. Yeah. And we end up just coming back to the house and recapping what we saw.
Absolutely. Awesome.
So basically, this whole recap to say you bring Jubilee on and you're going to have a lot of problems.
Yes. So yeah,
And
there we go.
yeah, and so we find ourselves at the home that Bram has lent to you, kind of as a place to be able to go to for rest and recovery. And the three of you are there. Rihu is there as well, but unfortunately, the illness that had taken him previously is still twisting up his stomach. AKA, it's his 1-year anniversary, and he is out with his wife. So he is still quite ill, and so you see him there laying down. While the three of you contemplate, you previously, as you've mentioned, gone to the circus, helped set up, kind of got a lay of the land for the two of you, Raja and Vantalord. Jubilee, of course, you're quite familiar with it. Have looked around, seen the area, and here you are the next morning. Do any of you need to level up from any XP? No. Okay. So what would you like to do as you stand here early morning of the next day?
Oh, man.
I want to go to town and get oil or something, a flammable liquid of some sort. Does anybody want to come with me to town?
I'll go. Are we burning down the whole circus?
I'm
No.
down. Let's burn it. Everything.
Just
No.
burn it to the ground. Wait, let's not do that. My whole family's there. Don't do that.
Maybe it'll get rid of the curse. We and burn everything around it, runes and all, assuming there is a rune.
Well, we can all go into town. Do we need supplies for anything while we're there?
Well, I'm good with what I've got, but I figure with seeing Ignacia yesterday morning, And obviously you're still trying to recover from seeing Morren last night. Probably having strength in numbers is going to be a good idea.
Well, especially because Morren knows exactly where I've been this entire time, so I'm assuming there's some kind of magic or something that he's using. So really, anywhere I go, he just knows where we are all the time. So please don't leave me.
That's probably for the better. We got to get rid of that curse. We got to get rid of it.
Raja, how's your tattoo doing?
Good. It's just there. Doesn't do much, except when I take off my shirt.
And at this point, Raja, you would know that, from taking your shirt off, from seeing it, it has healed enough that the glow has started to take effect.
Yeah.
So, and then it's fully healed. It's still a little sensitive, but it is fully healed.
Yeah. So what did we say? It was like 20 foot bright, 10, or was it 10 foot bright?
20 and 10, I think, is what it is, but it's behind you. 20 and 10 behind you, and just 10 dim in front of you.
Okay.
That's very interesting. So we're just going in town looking for something that's flammable? Okay.
Flammable liquid, and then I'm gonna buy a torch.
Is there a particular reason you need flammable liquid?
Remember how Ignatius showed him yesterday how to start with the fire with his hair and then spin around?
I was not sure if we were getting real circus news. Like, he just wanted to start a bonfire, but now I'm all types of excited because now, why don't we just start our own circus? Battle of the circuses.
Are you sure you really love them? I say, do you want another curse on you?
No.
Because that's my opinion at this point.
That I want another curse on me?
No, that's what the circus is going to bring.
Well, none of it's mine.
Until we can lift the current curse, we probably should stay away from starting a circus.
But like, what if you stack curses? Does one like eventually cancel the other one out, or are you just like more like excessively cursed?
Probably excessively cursed. But let's go get Raja his fire, his flammable liquid, and his torch, and let's go burn the circus down. I mean, let's go see if we can figure out where this potential curse is coming from.
I'm gonna put on my sneaky clothes.
So
your sneaky clothes?
Yeah, black cloak, black shoes. Very sad.
True. I'm not in sneaky clothes. I have his cloak on.
Oh, that's right. He let you keep the cloak, right?
So flashy.
He let you keep the cloak.
Best friends
but nice
forever.
to know.
You have friendship cloaks now.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna breathe fire like him too. Or inhale it. I don't know.
We're about to find out. We're not setting fire to the circus. We're setting fire to Raja's insides.
So,
Yeah.
so the
He's
three
a
of you-
fire ifrit.
That doesn't mean you should be burning your esophagus on purpose.
Does my fire resistance also work on the inside of my body?
Presumably
We're
so.
gonna find out.
So the three of you head up the mountainside into the main square of town, and sure enough, at the store there, you are eventually able to find a couple different kinds. Jubilee, you would have an idea. I mean, again, you've been there your whole life. The type of fluid that Ignacia would be using for the flammability and the thickness that's needed. So you're able to find something decently close. Most common just being a thick kerosene, but you are able to eventually find something that costs you about 3 silver Raja for a
Okay.
little vial of it.
I also need a torch.
Yeah, those are very easy to find.
Because I can't light stuff myself without using burning hands.
Yeah,
Or
so
flaming hands. Whatever.
you can find
Oh, don't you waste that spell slot.
How many?
you can find a torch for a silver each.
I
Well,
just
then,
want to keep an eye out while we're traveling too for people from the circus.
Okay.
how big are the vials? Are they like this or are they like
Like
16
like a
fluid ounces?
canteen, yeah, like a canteen size,
I'll get 3.
like a water flask, correct vernacular.
I'll get 3 of them.
Okay.
And then I'll get 2 torches.
Okay.
That's 11.
Yep.
Yep.
We math good today.
Done.
Okay. Anything else you guys are doing? Are you heading to the circus? You avoiding the circus?
Oh, I'm going to the circus. I
I
want to
know.
find where this curse is coming from. I
Oh,
want to.
we're just going right in. Huh.
Well, again, the noble paladin wants to free you of your curse.
That is very kind of you. I'm also like really terrified. So if we want to go, then that's fine. I am definitely going to get caught again. I'm sure. Maybe she takes it. Maybe she'll be fine.
Well, I have nothing
What
else to
could
say.
go wrong?
You've got some awesome ability to put on disguises. Maybe you make it where I don't look like a paladin, so that way you and I could stay closer together to make sure that we keep you safe.
Well, I can make you not look like a paladin, but I can never make you not act like one.
That is true, so I might as well look the part.
This entire conversation, I've been off to the side blowing water out of my mouth in a spray to try to get the spray correct. Just off to the
You
side.
seem like fountain it.
Because you gotta get it in a mist.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, each of you now, are you going because of what you said, Vantalord? Are you guys going as you are? Jubilee, are you going as you are?
I'm going as I am.
I'm gonna let the chat decide because I don't know what I want to do. Oh boy. Do I want to disguise myself? Part of me wants to just say no. I'm gonna just walk right in.
That's
Yeah?
gotta suck being known by everybody. Not a single person here knows me.
That's not true. Ignacio knows you now.
Yeah, now Ignacia knows you. And you're wearing his cape.
I'm special.
Oh, all right. Chat says disguise. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Mandus is disguise.
Go ahead and roll your disguise check, right? Or performance.
There's a disguise check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Roll your disguise.
My disguise is so high.
Yeah, you nailed it last time.
Oh my lord. Okay, hold on. 28.
28. Yeah, I mean, not
I
only
thought I saw Jubilee around.
not only is it a very well done disguise, it's even different from last time. You know, so it's not even like you just specialize in one type of disguise. You look completely different than even yesterday. So, with that, the three of you start heading off towards the circus. And as you approach, you see a very familiar scene, just like yesterday. Over this bridge on both sides is a big clown face, the mouth of it in which you're walking into to cross over this bridge. You see everything is fully set up. You see the tent and the big tent and the areas to the left and the right. What is it that the three of you want to do as you approach this area?
Is everybody still practicing? Like, are all the acts?
You could ask Jubilee, but as far as where you stand right now at the entrance, it's you're not by any of the performers. You do see some people going out and about that look like they have some fashion of entertaining just the people in the common area. But as
Yeah,
far
the
as like,
further in that we get, they'll likely be practicing a bit.
Okay.
They're
What's the
probably like
game?
in their tents.
Yeah. I need Ignacia to show me how we do this before we like mess everything up. Slide down.
The most what's in it for me I've ever heard. I gotta learn how to breathe fire before we actually implode everything. So just let me know when you're planning on doing that.
Basically, yeah.
and Jubilee, again, you would be very familiar with the setup. Very seldom does the setup change. It will change based on the landscape of the individual area you're in. But familiar with the area where there's a handful of different carnival games. An area where oftentimes an exotic animal will be shown or a small performance will be done. Those being off to the left. Familiar with the food area off to the right. The big tent is always, that is the big show in the center. The tickets area right up front. The statue, Vantalord, that is off to the right. And then there was an area, Vantalord, that you saw last time off to the left, far left, another smaller tent.
I can't remember if I explored the smaller tent last time.
Last time you saw a variety of mirrors going in.
Oh, that's right. The variety of mirrors.
Are we able to buy animals? Or are they just for show?
They're for show, and I already own 2 horses and a cart. Remember?
No, we want a tiger. We want something wild.
Exotic.
Well, Jubilee, if there's anywhere you're going to find a possible chance of that, it would be over in the small performance area to the left, where small performances, exotic animals, things like that are kind of shown off.
Raja, do you want to go look at them?
Yes. Why don't we just buy the circus?
How much gold do you have?
Not that much. But,
I don't know if Morren is really willing to give his circus up because we're all cursed, so...
I could probably buy a tiger.
Or we could just, break one out right now.
Are we allowed to do that?
No, not allowed to do that. But are we going to?
We should actually do that. We'll, let the animals go, and then we'll go do our thing when it comes time.
Okay.
Just make sure not to die.
I'm just looking at these two, and it's like... It sounds like a lot of fun, but at the same time, it sounds like we could really, really, really get hurt. I don't feel like my last words being, "Here, kitty, kitty," should be appropriate.
Okay, but hear me out, right? Because if we release the animals, maybe they'll just kill Morren, and then we don't have to do anything. Oh.
Or they don't kill anybody. And,
Or they're just oh, pull them out.
Yeah. And they just distract everybody, and we go do our thing.
Wait, that's the best thing, because if we release all the animals, then everybody's gonna be distracted by putting them back, so then we can go and do whatever we want to do.
You went so dark with it.
Yeah,
The
that
distraction.
happens.
As they're going back and
I was also
forth...
the one that was trying to whip a 16-year-old kid last week. I was trying to kill his kid.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Even though it's in my notes, I glanced
You
over.
blocked it out. It's fine. I get it.
So,
It's a good thing to block out.
as a paladin, I should not be killing children.
No.
No. Just
No.
no.
did you kill
But-
each other?
No, we didn't actually.
We were. You
Oh,
wanted to
me.
attack it last time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Are we going to release a bunch of animals? I think we should.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be fun.
Yes.
I'm looking at Jubilee, and I'm like, that actually may not be a bad idea, because if we can distract everyone else, who'd most likely be next to Morren Duke while everyone else is trying to pen the animals back up? Would it be like Ignacia and his main performers? Or would everyone be near him?
Well, are you saying like who would be like his bodyguard during the situation?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking.
It could like really be a number of different people. I wouldn't say that there's one in particular.
Okay, how many people, I should ask? Do you think it may... How many may he use as a bodyguard during this incident like that?
I would probably like probably a solid 5 or 6, maybe. It depends on if he sends them out to go try to fix things.
Why would he even need bodyguards?
He's very powerful, so I don't think he actually needs them. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure who he would be using.
I wonder if we were to let the animals out, if we could use that distraction to get him by himself and take him on in combat, and maybe taking him out would lift the curse from not just you, but from everyone. That way Ignacia could go back to who you know as Ignacia, not split personality Ignacia.
I do feel bad for them.
So are we killing him or going to the statue?
All of the above.
The answer is yes. I think remember, yesterday I tried going towards the statue and I couldn't touch it no matter how much I tried. The closer I got to it, the further away it got from me. And as soon as I backed up, it started getting closer to me. I don't think it's the statue.
No, I'm sure there's some kind of hold on it. Of some kind.
Okay.
Something
And-
nearby.
If his bodyguards attack us, do we just kill them or do we want to make sure that they stay alive because they might be being controlled?
Well, it also depends because some of them are my friends.
Yeah, and that's where it gets hard. That's the reason why I was trying to see what she would know. Hmm.
Knock them all out. What weapons does everybody have? Because if you have a sword, it's kind of difficult.
And at
to do
this
now.
point, are you guys still outside the circus?
Yeah, we're a little bit outside. Just we haven't quite walked in through the thing yet. Just because right now. So to answer your question, Raja, I still have my masterwork longsword, and I have my shield, plus my new chainmail. So when we got into town, I spent the first day trying to make sure that we could have a little bit more combat.
Mhm.
Well, if anybody wants to know what weapons I have besides myself being the weapon, because I have a dagger and a whip, and I'm not great with either one.
You have two daggers. You have your regular dagger and your
A
sneaky dagger.
So the plan is just stay alive if they attack you.
If they attack us, I say we try to stay focused on Morren Duke, because probably taking care of him would break any curse if he is controlling them.
All right, so
Do
so
we
the plan is what? Animal breakout mission, and then go and find Morren during this time. Yes.
Yeah. So
on before and then animals.
Yep, I was just gonna say that if this figure out where Morren Duke is, that way we can do that final recon. Just because yesterday we got the lay of the land, we kind of figured out who was here. Today, if we can figure out where Morren Duke's been kind of wandering around, we can use that to know, hey, let's get the animals broken out, cause get them to maybe stampede or go on a little bit of a rampage, and then use that as a distraction to go after Morren.
And then mission acoustic. That's what they say, right? I think.
So mission acoustic is that how you can get all the loot?
Yes.
LUTE.
That was really good.
Sorry, I thought I'd harp on.
Oh my god, it just keeps going.
Do we know that your parents are in the circus? Is that like shared knowledge?
Yeah, she would have told
yes,
us last
yeah.
night.
Okay, do we know what they look like?
We don't. She does.
I will point them out.
Okay, because I don't really want to be blamed for killing your parents.
Oh, that's. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a really. Yeah.
So, as you start to approach, as you're having this conversation, starting to approach the big clown head and mouth to walk through, you cross that threshold, and to your left and right, you see individuals taking coin for entrance. Each of them look to be on the shorter side, somewhat resemblant of a gnome, with grayer skin. Some have referred to them more as like rock gnomes or things like that. They seem, decently welcoming, and they're just taking the coin, and it's 1 silver each to enter.
Oh, yeah.
Upon entering, you hear the boisterous music of the circus. You see individuals walking every which direction. A lot of the people from Wood's Edge are here as well. So it seems like they've really packed out so far for the morning. It seems quite busy.
Oh, is there a morning show and a night show?
So let's see. The circus tent went up 2 days before the circus actually started. Yesterday was set up. Today would be like practicing. Tomorrow would be the shows.
Today is everything,
Oh,
right?
I thought we were just gonna be here until nighttime. Because I thought it was like a fairground and then the main event later tonight.
Right.
Right,
So
well, because there are all the games set up and everything, so if we want to do any of those, or if we want to destroy any of those, that's a thing that exists.
Yeah, because we have time to kill until the actual circus starts.
We have time to kill!
No.
And Jubilee, you are familiar with the routine. I believe you actually have the circus schedule. But yes, like you guys saw on the flyer, you're exactly right, Raja. There is different daily events. There's events that take place in the big tent, and then all throughout the evening, there's events in the big tent.
Do they have a hammer game here?
I mean,
They
you can go
have-
check out,
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
or
go.
Jubilee can tell you.
hold on, I'm looking. Some of these are really fun. Okay, I don't think that there is. You're looking for like the one where you take the hammer and you hit the thing, right? And then it has a bell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if we have one of those, but we have archery. Oh, there is. Yes, there is one.
Okay, I'm gonna just go play games.
Screw letting the animals out. I'm just gonna play games now.
Oh, are we letting them out now?
I think that. Oh, well, there's a lot of people here. Does that make
Are
it
we-
better or worse?
Probably better, honestly. But
Causes
like,
a little more chaos.
yeah.
A bigger distraction point.
I live for chaos.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, why am I talking like a paladin? Let's do it.
All right, so as you all start to walk towards the left, you follow the path. You do see that there are some guards. Jubilee, you recognize the individuals. They each have as you see the guards pass throughout this area, there's a guard per dog. They each have a large canine with them, and they're just walking, just keeping the peace. And then on the right here of the path, you do see the different games that you're familiar with. Raja, you do see a tall slab of wood with a bell at the top of it. And then to the left is where you see like the display for small performances and those exotic animals. Currently, as you approach this area, as some people are playing the games, you hear the ding of the bell. And then on the left, you see this really bizarre looking creature. It seems to have a blend of features. And on it, as it starts to approach, it's kind of circling the front area. You see that it's got different bits of what look like a lion or an eagle that compose its body type. There's a goblin that's up on the stage area, and this creature has heavy chains pulling it down, weighing it down from being able to take flight. And there's a couple onlookers here. One, a female who has a little dog herself, as well as a couple other onlookers. And Jubilee, you do recognize that Maximilian is in the area as well.
So I feel like that creature would not be, it'd be more effort to let out than it'd do chaos, because it'd probably just fly away. I feel like that's a bummer, but I feel like it wouldn't ensue a lot of chaos necessarily.
And
Or
Raj,
does it look like it's aggressive towards the goblin?
it looks like
I should have asked that first.
it looks like it has like it's really been beaten down, for lack of description. With the chains on it, it's not able to stand with its full structure. The goblin every now and then will poke it with its dagger. You do see an individual, the female with the dog. You can hear her verbally upset and even like shaking her fist at what's taking place.
This is really actually very cruel.
We don't have anything that could cut the chains off, though.
Are the chains like connected to anything, or this is just weight that's holding it down?
Just weight that's holding it down.
Oh, so we can just pull them. With
Well, does it have like that big collar?
really? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yep. Looks like it has a clasp with some kind of pin or something holding it together.
With the what?
With like a pin or something just stuck through there to hold it together.
Oh,
Nothing overly fancy.
And do I know this creature from having been in the circus?
You do. I'm not sure if the others do. If they want, they can roll a nature check, or you could describe it to them, or tell them about it. But you recognize it to be a griffin.
Okay. But like this is
Really?
something
This
that
campaign,
has
you bring the griffin back in?
Go ahead.
so this is something that I've been around before, having been with the circus for a while.
Yes. And you've seen this kind of treatment. Sometimes they come out well, and sometimes they come out and they've been performing, so to say, a little bit too much. Or just depending on the handler at the moment. And you can see that this goblin is one that's taking liberty to their treatment of it.
Okay. And this is like right in the middle of a performance, yes?
It looks like it's kind of wrapping up. If for no other reason than the griffin is not as energetic right now.
Alright.
And again, you see that woman, and she's starting to become more vocal as she's saying, what does she look like?
Well, she you see this woman who is shorter in stature, human woman. She's about 5 feet tall, and she has kind of like very messy, kind of unkempt look about her. She's got a staff in her hand and like a big wide brimmed hat, and looks more like, yeah, she's just not a very like city town folk dressed or put together. It sort of looks a little more disheveled. And yeah, you see that she is like very visibly upset at the fact that there's a creature that's being treated this way. And I think Roy mentioned this, but there's next to her there's also a dog. If you know what a border collie looks like, it's a pretty large border collie who's like very seems to be reflective of her personality, and is like getting a little bit upset, like kind of, you know, hind legs are like raunched a little bit, you know. Yeah, you see that she is kind of trying to shout at the goblin, who is clearly abusing his handler power with this griffin. Animals shouldn't be treated that way. You leave him alone.
Can I lean over to Jubilee and ask if I can, like, scare the goblin after, or deal with him?
Oh, actually, it's funny you should say that. I have an idea. So if you want to do that, if you want to, like, somehow corner this goblin, I can try to disguise myself as the goblin again, and then go ahead and climb on the back of this thing and try to unpin it.
What if you just go up as yourself? Because I feel like him and the goblin don't have the best relationship.
That is true.
So if you're on his back and he thinks you're the goblin,
He might get angry.
Let's say the other thing, what if we go up there and if you're trying to unpin it and I'm trying to keep the griffin calm until we get it free? So one of us tries to properly care for the goblin, one of us tries to free the griffin, and the other one tries to keep the griffin calm.
And Cricket, you're overhearing them as they're talking about this.
I was just gonna ask you guys, how loud are you? Like, or how close are you, or how loud are you in having this conversation?
We're probably about 4 feet, just judging by what I'm seeing, so you could probably overhear us.
And also, Jubilee is not quiet.
No, Jubilee's never quiet.
So overhearing that, you see the woman in front of you turn around and like pick up on the fact that you must be plotting in some way to potentially free this animal, and she comes over. Did I hear you guys say you're gonna try and free this creature here?
Please don't tell anybody. We're really not trying to get into any trouble right now. I already have so many problems.
Jubilee, right now we're trying not to get into trouble.
Huh?
Well, quite the opposite. I was actually, if there's anything I can do to help, I do have a little bit of a way with animals. So if there's something I can do to help, I walked upon this thinking I was going to get to, experience and see some of nature's best wildlife. And instead, I've just come across all of these animals that have been horribly mistreated. I didn't know what I was getting into coming here.
Well, welcome to the circus.
Yeah, I've never been to one before, and now I know.
All right. Well, do you have any experience with griffins?
Well, not particularly with griffins. I got a lot more experience with sheep. I'm sure they're not that different, though, right? Animals are animals.
This should be just about the same.
All right. Well, sometimes if I really, focus, I could try and maybe, sometimes I can talk to them. So if there's something you need me to talk to the griffin about, maybe I could do that.
I'm sorry, you could what?
Well, yeah, it's just something I can sort of do where, how we're talking now, I can do that, but just with a creature.
Well, that's cool.
I look at... That may come in handy.
If you want to tell him that we're just going to let him go. I don't want him to think that I'm climbing on his back to, do something terrible.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I can do that, yeah. You just let me know how I can help.
maybe he could help us in some way, or
Who?
maybe. And
Oh, the griffin?
yeah. Instead of just flying away.
You know, it would be hilarious if you just like swooped down and picked up Morren and then flew away.
Just dropped him.
As you hear it just bellow out with a loud screeching sound, the goblin hops down off the podium area, grabs the chain, and it's kind of a awe-stricken like sight to see. Jubilee, you may have seen it from time to time when the circus has had an elephant, but just how such a small figure, a small individual, can pull such a large creature. He grabs the chain and just gives it a slight tug as this griffin just is just submissive and just follows as the goblin starts to walk towards the exit.
I would like to block the exit. Just stand there.
What? So what do you guys do? What's the plan?
Let's see here.
Do I know this goblin personally from my time in the circus?
Not really. I mean, they come and they go. They're not as they're not as much as the common cast, so to say.
All right. Well, do we just want to wait till the goblin walks away, or do we want to do this like broad daylight in the middle of everything?
Or do we try to bribe the goblin? I have an idea.
I was just gonna scare him.
You want to scare it, I want to bribe it.
You do yours first.
I go up. I want to go up to the goblin, and just say, "Hey, this is such a beautiful griffin that you have here. Let's not let anyone know this, but I'll give you 27 gold for it."
That's so specific.
And you see a slight bit of confusion come across the goblin. As you just hear it just go off. And he's like raising his hands. You just, unless you speak goblin, you can't understand him.
Nope.
And you see him like wave his hand at you to shoo you out of the way.
Yeah, that's. I get closer and I hold out gold, and I point toward the goblin, and I point towards the griffin. You take this, I get that.
His eyes just like get really big. How much gold do you have?
I've got it.
But how much is in your hand?
I have 20 gold.
20 coins in your hand? 20 gold coins?
Yep.
And you see him then step back for just a second. The griffin is so used to just going that Griffin ends up right behind him before realizing that the goblin stopped. And he looks at you, looks at the coin. And he points at the coin. And he points at his own hand. And then himself, like...
Blood coin first.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can try to figure out what he's saying, but... Unless any of you speak Goblin. Any of the four of you.
Well, I definitely don't speak goblin.
I'll put 10 more in the pot.
So what I do is actually wait, hold off. As you start doing that, I say, wait a second. I go to reach for the chain for the griffin as I'm giving the goblin the coin. And if he tries stopping me, I'm going to close my hand so he can't take it.
Say that again?
So what I want to do is trying to do a reach for the chain while trying to give him the coin. If he doesn't let go of the chain, I'm going to close my hand and pull it back. Kind of like training a dog.
And he has a chain in his hand, and he's reaching for the gold. He goes, Morren Duke, Aber.
I heard Morren Duke.
Yep.
Dang it! Looks like we got to talk to him.
Okay, well, we're not going to do that. So how badly do you want me to do something chaotic?
And the goblin is still like trying to make the exchange. He's trying to hand you the chain and take the change. That's messed up to say. Like, so,
Right, so-
Oh, I guess he's just going to let you do it.
but he's like, then
Okay.
he moves his hand and points to the big tent, like, as he's saying Morren's name, he's shaking the chain and saying like, he's pointing
Oh,
that way.
I wonder if he's saying that like Morren owns the griffin, so if we're going to buy it, then we have to talk to him.
Well, if that Morren owns the Griffin, I think Jubilee needs to cause a little chaos.
Yeah, I'm going to just hold my hand out and some glitter into the goblin's face, and I'm going to cast Daze.
Okay, and how does that work?
That is going to be a will save.
Okay. And what happens?
He's going to lose his next action, so anything that we do, he can't react to it.
I love it.
Does 19 save?
Oh, yes. No.
So he gets this glitter in his face, and this sparkly stone is all over him, and he's just like,
Oh, sorry, I sneezed.
gold, griffin. And he like shakes the chain in the direction of the big tent, and he points at Vantalord, and he shakes the chain and he points it that way. He,
Okay,
Like,
I
waves
think
for
he
the
really
gold.
wants you to talk to Morren Duke about this.
Okay, I put the coin back in my coin pouch and just
Not trust
No,
you.
my-
you see an expression come across his face, like, ah, and he pulls the chain back, and he's like, ah, blah, blah, blah.
How tall is this goblin compared to the top?
He's
of
like
the
3
griffin?
foot tall,
Okay, and then how tall is the griffin?
like 15 feet to his head.
Oh, okay. Can I try to hop onto the shoulders of the goblin and then, like, quick acrobatics my way up the griffin?
And you can try anything you
I'll, like,
want.
climb the chain.
I want this Griffin.
Well, and the chain has a lot of slack in it, just so you know.
Okay.
Like, it's like a leash, right? So there's a lot of slack in it.
Right, okay. Okay, I'm good. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, Jubilee makes this attempt. Vantalord, you've attempted to bribe it. Raja and Cricket, are there anything that the two of you are wanting to do?
Yeah, if I see her like making a move to go actually do something, then I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals, and I'm just gonna try and like commune for a moment, with and like link with the griffin
Mhm.
and be able to speak with it.
Okay. So go, and do you need to roll anything for that? Or does it just...
I don't think so. No, I just for 1 minute per level, so
For 3
I
minutes?
think 3 minutes I can talk to animals. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll it just like normal essentially. So as soon as I cast it and I know that like the link has connected, then I'll try and reassure the griffin and sort of calm it down and get a feel for like I'll talk to it essentially.
And Jubilee, did you go ahead and roll a acrobatics check?
I
Are you
did
trying
not,
to
but I
jump on
will
the
right-
Are you trying to
Yeah,
jump
I'm going
on the
to like
goblin?
hop onto the goblin's shoulders and then do some kind of really cool clowny backflip or something.
Let's go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
Oh, okay, that's an 18.
Okay, total 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Cricket, you see that Jubilee is indeed doing something. And you see her start to take a quick step and then leap up. She hops onto the shoulders of this goblin as he starts to sink into the ground, like starts to like not be able to hold her weight. When suddenly she makes a jump, pushing him further down onto the ground. Raja, you see him basically hunched over at this point under the force of Jubilee's initial jump. As she's in the air, Cricket, you feel your connection take place with this griffin. Immediately when the connection is made, you feel a sense of just of sadness, of a crushed spirit.
Aww.
Yeah, so as soon as I can tell that I've like made that connection, I think I just speak out loud like normal, and it can understand me. So because it is a verbal spell, so I'll just say, just we're here to help. Don't worry. I know there's someone strange on your back. I can tell that this goblin here and these people haven't been nice to you. We're gonna do everything we can to free you today.
Jubilee, you hear some words going off, but really focused. You're able to land basically on its back, more or less, with the jump. You climb up, trying to be careful to not pull the feathers too hard. Cricket, you see the griffin look over at you, and it just locks eyes with you. As Jubilee is on its back, Jubilee, you see that collar with just a pretty simple set of pins that hold it together. No actual lock that's in place. Just kind of giving another sense of how beaten down this creature was. What do the four of you do as this goblin starts to get back up, Raja? You see
I push the goblin back down and I grab the chain. I don't want this goblin getting up.
And stay down.
Whack!
Okay, and go ahead and make a roll to hit.
D20, don't fail me down. That's a 16.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
So you give him a good thump as he falls back to the ground. He's not unconscious and he's not dead, but he's definitely not feeling great. Are you holding him down?
Yep, I'm just gonna hold him down.
Okay. And you have the chain in hand. Raja, what are you doing?
Watching the guard behind us, probably.
Okay. So you take a look around and keep an eye out. You see the guard. He moves kind of, he's still moving away. There hasn't been a lot of motion to be able to draw his attention, it seems like, because he's not walking towards you. And it is quite loud between people walking and chattering. Not so much in your immediate area, but just in general. The music that's playing and everything seems to not have let you guys been heard yet.
Okay. Then, can I pick up the goblin and move it out of the way so that the griffin doesn't step on it or anything?
Okay.
I'm holding the goblin down. He's under my foot.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do when you walk away with the chain?
I have a shield. Whack!
Oh, that's true. You can hit people with those.
Yes, I can. I'm trying not to. I am just trying to free the griffin. I don't want to kill the goblin. I want to free the griffin.
You hear Jubilee from on the back of the griffin.
Why not?
What has the goblin done to deserve to die? He may have hurt the griffin, but has he killed the griffin? No.
Nobody.
Did you see how
hurt
he
it.
was treating this animal? Nobody should live after that.
I like
Does
her.
not. But at this point, I have not determined a reason yet for him to die, and nothing from I haven't gotten anywhere from Apsu yet on to kill this guy.
You hear
Fine.
the goblin start to squirm under your foot. He can't get up, but he's squirming under your foot. Cricket, you get another like feeling from the griffin.
Mhm. I think they can talk too. Like they can answer questions. So if this creature has that capability to do that, or depending on how they communicate.
Okay. In this moment, you do get a feeling from it, as far as it's just another layer on that. Just like a longing. At this point, it seems like it should be able to talk. It should be able to communicate. It's a smart enough type of creature, but that's just how oppressed it has been. But it looks at you, and in all of that, in looking at you, you do get a sense of hope, or of flight. But then it just shrugs slightly under the.
I'm gonna like grasp onto that mentally and just like with like more fervor than before. I know that you've had a rough life. I know what that's like, but listen, there is always hope and we can make it through this. I can see you're a really tough creature, and when we get you out of this, you're gonna go live a long, happy life in the free wild like you should have been. I'm gonna try and like inspire it, essentially.
As she's saying that, I'm guessing I can still feel the goblin behind me. I just want to take it. I just want to hit it as hard as I can, try to knock it unconscious so it stops squirming before it makes a shriek for the guard.
Okay. Perfect. So you give it a good thump. And Jubilee, what are you doing?
I am trying to unpin this.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a disarm device.
Oh.
Believe that is what it's called.
Disable device.
Disable device. Thank you.
Where the heck is that?
Under D.
Diplomacy. Oh, an 18.
18. Yeah, it's a fairly simple setup. You see how these pins are holding each other in. Apparently this creature is so submissive at this point that a full lock is not needed. So you're able to see how to pull 3 different pins out, and when you pull them, suddenly this huge metal collar from around his neck just opens up and thumps to the ground.
Oh.
You're free!
Except that was really loud.
Well, so it hits the ground, which is dirt, right?
Okay, so it's not terrible.
It does make a little bit of a noise. Raja, you take a quick look around. That guard has moved on. But it was definitely heavy. When it hit, and it didn't bounce. It was a very heavy piece of metal. Suddenly the griffin stands up a little bit taller now. And hearing Cricket, you see it flaps its wings a little bit, starting to get air under them, just stretching them out.
I think you might want to get off the back there before he flies away.
That is probably a very good idea. I'm going to, just do my cute little hop and like 3-point land, and then I'll do cute little bow.
Force of habit, Jubilee?
Yeah.
AC Cars, thanks for the sub. So you're jumping off, Jubilee?
Yes.
Okay. As you start to steady your feet under you, the griffin stretches its wings out a little bit further, flaps them, and starts to get a little bit of distance off the ground. Cricket, you start to see a spot. It looks like 2 or 3 spots that are red and wet. Jubilee, you hop off its back as it starts to fly up and up, gaining some height, but not a tremendous amount, as it starts to try to leave the area.
You should tell it to just run in the forest and hide.
Yeah, get away from here as fast as you can. Go find someplace safe.
Poor thing.
There goes my chances of ever getting a griffin. Bet I'll own one myself.
You guys do have a goblin at your feet.
How is Maximilian reacting?
He as well walked off. I know I haven't moved him, but
Oh, okay.
he has walked away.
Okay. Do we want to like hold this goblin, or do we want to kill him? What do we want to do with him?
Well, let's see here. I did kind of knock the goblin out, so he's may not be in the best train of thought. Can I feel the goblin squirming underneath my feet, or is he still kind of
He's
struggling?
he's still conscious, but he's too dazed to do anything right now.
I want to pick the goblin up and I want to intimidate him. And I'm just going to say something. You tell no one about this.
And there are starting to be some more individuals in the area. Maximilian is out of the area, and some people are starting to walk around the area. Again, this place is quite busy. So as you pick him up, Vantalord, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Can I assist on the intimidation?
Yeah, you get in his face too, or what do you do to help?
Yeah, and then I'll point at myself, and I'll go like this,
Okay.
and I'll point at him, because he doesn't understand English.
There you go. So
Very
go ahead and roll with advantage, Vantalord.
Well, I don't know if I need to because my first roll is a nat 20.
Hey!
And I have a +4 on intimidate.
Okay. So with the two of you in his face, and Vantalord, how tall are you? You're like 3.5.
I'm 4'9".
4'9". Okay.
No.
So with being able to hold him, he's kind of close and in your face. Raja's right there. At your feet, you start to hear and feel a dripping of fluids. As he just let his bells go.
Oh.
I'm gonna just walk away.
I put him down, look at myself, and go, well, that stinks, but oh well.
Is it on your shoes?
A little
It's
bit.
definitely. So when you put him down, you let go of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I got my point across.
As soon as you do, he just takes off.
Does he look like he's taking off towards more people, or does he look like he's taking off like out of the circus?
I mean, kind of anywhere, any direction that you go here, you're taking off towards people. But he went back into the performance area and then behind where the people were sitting, and then he went out of sight. So from there, it's hard to tell.
Uh-oh.
But he was not he was scared. He was petrified.
Well, here's hoping he doesn't tell anyone about that.
Well, either way though, we still freed the griffin. So now what's the next set of animals that we're gonna hopefully something that maybe doesn't fly?
Are you all here like on a mission to free all the animals or something? I mean,
Like
You're
a
gonna kill me.
very long story.
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, but it's part of the goal.
well,
It's part of our plan.
well, I'm glad that I happened to run into you and that we were able to do that. I could tell that griffin, he was just he was so downtrodden and oppressed because he's just been living this life in captivity for so long, and creatures like that are not meant to live chained down to the earth for their whole life. So I can't tell you how thankful I am that I ran into you all so you could help me with that.
Would you like to help us end someone's career later? The guy that runs this whole thing?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, when you first said end someone's career, I was like, well, that's an interesting request, but then when you clarified, I see the person who runs the circus. You mean the person who's like making money off of all these animals?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's hiring all these mean people to treat these animals wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound very, I mean, I don't really want to see anyone else benefit from these creatures in this way, so if there's something I can do to help, then sure.
I'm
There's-
Might
guessing.
be ending more than his career, but
Yeah. I'm guessing make sure animals are treated properly is the reason why you went more towards a druidic path.
Oh, well,
You
yeah.
can just assume somebody's class.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of sort of like you said, sort of a long story, and but it's really like it's in my blood and in my lifestyle. I've really known nothing else than that, but um and it sort of feels like I can't believe anybody doesn't want to treat animals, with respect that they deserve, but maybe I just don't know how the rest of the world works. But by the way, my name is Cricket. I don't think I actually introduced myself to y'all before, but I'm Cricket Grovekeeper. What's your names?
I'm Raja.
Raja. All right, nice to meet you, Raja.
I am Vantalord.
Vantalord. Remind me not to get on your bad side, Vantalord.
Well, I say I'm just trying to make sure that people properly take care of others, not just people but things.
Well, I appreciate it. It definitely helped. And then what about you?
You can call me Jubilee.
Jubilee. Well, that's real nice. I just, like I said, I'm grateful I ran across y'all before. I feel like there was some sort of fate that brought us here together.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Well, what is it that you had in mind next to help shut down this operation?
We're either just going to burn the whole thing to the ground or we're going to murder some people.
As,
Oh,
as
alright.
sounds, Jubilee, you say that, and sounds in the background go off. Loud bell dings as someone hits the hammer, and people are shouting. Little kids are all joyous playing the games as you enter into your morbid statements there.
Well, before
Just
we
a
do
little.
anything, Raja, did you want to play some games first?
Yeah.
I will admit that I saw some of these games as I was walking past to see the animals, and they did look interesting.
Yeah.
You did?
I'm gonna go play every single game.
Oh, I didn't play any of them. I'm just saying I saw them and they look interesting. So,
Yeah, they are a lot of fun.
Say Jubilee, maybe while he's playing games, we can keep an eye out for Morren, so that way we can continue with the rest of our plan.
I can play my own game with him.
And
I'm
at
gonna go
that,
play everything.
I say with your own game, we're all winners.
And you do, as you look at the games, you do see that there's at least 6 main games. Jubilee, you're familiar with them. One of them being Goblin Toss.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Another one that is pointed out is called Ladder Climb. Another one that you see, it looks like people are shooting bows. It's labeled with a small sign, Archery Arena. You see another one. This is the one, Raja, where the bell is at, right? Called Strength Showdown. And then kind of like an odd form of singing competition. There's Yelling Yodel.
Oh,
And
I'll
then...
do 5 of the whole 6 games.
So they're in an orderly queue.
Huh? Oh. And then it looks like some kind of magic is being done at another one called Arcane Assortment. And those are the 6 games that all of you see here.
I want to go to the ladder climb first.
Okay.
Surprised you didn't immediately go for the one with the hammer.
Yeah. Skylar really likes that game. Raja is not built for that game.
Okay, so you go to the ladder climb. When you walk up there, you see a rope ladder attached to 2 different areas, top and bottom, and you can see that it wobbles a bit.
Oh, it's
Um,
twisted.
And so you see this, and you see the game. I don't know what they're called, but anyways, the one hosting the game, the one hosting the game, and he's all yelling out, and people are coming in and looking, and you see a little kid climb up about halfway, and the ladder twists, and he falls off and falls down. He gets up, and kind of repeat. Some make it a little bit further, and no one's really making it to the top though. You do see that the cost to enter this is
How to throw the DM off. Play games that he wasn't planning on you playing.
No, I definitely was, and there's a cost to this, and I don't know where I put it. But I'm gonna say 2 gold for the time being, then.
Whoa!
That's an expensive carnival game.
I was gonna say I could see it being 2 silver or 2 copper.
Is this like 2 gold and then you get a ticket and you have unlimited playtime all day? Is this like an amusement park?
We bought a pair of shoes for 2 gold.
Here, let's make it 5 silver. I can't find it. It's somewhere in here, but there's a lot in here, so we'll go with 5 silver for a play.
Are you allowed to keep? Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
are you allowed to keep holding on to the ladder, like even if it goes upside down? Because I definitely do that at every single fair, and they're okay with it.
So as
Are
long
you
as
supposed to let go?
I don't know. I never ask the rules. I just do it.
your feet don't touch, and your hands, as long as your feet or hands don't touch other objects, right? So if you're dangling from the ladder and still in the air, you can reposition your feet and keep on going.
Okay.
Okay. So
As we walk up, because I want to watch Raja do this, but can I cast detect magic and make sure that they're not like rigging? I mean, I would probably know from my time in the circus whether or not they do rig the carnival games, but I would like to check anyway.
yeah, you detect magic. Raj, are you paying the 5 silver?
Yeah.
Okay, you pay your 5 silver. Jubilee, when you detect magic, you don't find any kind of magic that would hinder or help this game, but you do pick up that on some prizes there seems to be some radiance of magic.
The other thing, don't forget, I still have my dagger, so she may also be picking that up too.
She would also pick that up, but even from the prizes.
He hasn't seen my dagger, that's just why I bring that up.
So Raja, to play this game, go ahead and roll a dexterity check. So roll a d20 plus your modifier.
Oh, for Dex?
Yep.
Shoot. I got a 14, 17.
17, okay. Well, good job, good job. A lot of people don't make it that far. You made it quite far, though. You didn't make it all the way. Would have been a pretty good prize if you did. But, look at this. And he pulls out a shiny gold coin. Goes, check out this gold coin. Isn't it something? Tell you what, it never even runs out of luck. This little coin, my friend. You could always play more. You could play more, win more prizes. You could even win so many prizes you trade them in for a bigger prize. But anyways, let me tell you about this gold coin. You see, let's just say that
I'll just stop you there.
it gives you good
because
luck.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, again? You want to go
Waste
again?
your time.
Okay, well, take
Yeah.
your lucky gold coin and go ahead and try again. 5 more silver and you can play again.
So this time, I'm just gonna like run, and then put my foot on the bottom rung, and then like leap as far as I can.
Okay,
And just like
roll a dex check.
I
hate
don't like the
Dex.
way that you're smiling.
That's a 19, 22.
22. Surprisingly, you're able to place your foot perfectly in the center so that it doesn't twist left or right. Even when you lunge off of it, it stays center enough for you to get up higher. With a 22, That was quite impressive. I never actually seen someone do that before. Let's see. So what do you get? How about I give you this here little fine little gift? Not really a gift. You want it, right? But it's a feather pendant, actually. And this little pendant grants you the ability to, well, let's say you land more gracefully even at higher heights. So now you have 2 here. Now I'm telling you, there is something. Let's see. So that would be 1, 2, 3. If you get, well, depending on the size of the prizes, but any of you, all of you can play. There are many games for all of you to play. If you get enough of these, which again it depends, but it's typically like 7. Yeah, about 7 prizes. You can trade them in for a big prize, but only 1 person a day can do that at each of these games. So far, no one's done that.
What's the
here.
big prize?
Oh, well, here, well, that's a bit of a surprise. Yeah, you have to trade in to find out.
I'll do it 5 more times.
You're gonna do this 5 more times. Well, look at here. Don't we have a wonderful, wonderful player? I sure hope the other 3 of you take advantage of the other games as well. Okay, now, okay. That will be 25 more silver. Or, young one, if you have 2 gold and 5 silver, that will do as well, too.
That's exactly the same.
Yeah, but it's less coin. Okay, so let's go ahead. It's less physical coins, same cost. 5 more times. Okay, let's see you go this one.
That's a 5.
Ooh. Here we go. Okay. A 5?
Duck.
Okay, well, I mean, you did good the first couple times, but tell you what, for this one, you tried. And so, let me,
Forever.
let me go ahead and give you this here red ball, but it's not just any red ball. It actually matches your hair quite well. He'll lean forward and push it, and it sticks on your nose. Goes, you see that there? That there is what we call a clumsy clown nose.
Yes.
Jubilee is offended in the distance.
As I'm watching this, I just look at Julie and I go, he's not offending you, I promise. At least I don't think he is.
I can't even imagine what this is.
Yeah.
All right.
He's just clowning around.
We got four more.
Oh my goodness. That's a 5 again.
Ooh, okay. Well, hey, you don't give up though, do you? You keep on trying. Look here. Let me give you this here little bag. It's brown, it's square, and it opens up. But there's more to it than that. Check this out. And he opens it up, and when he opens it, you'll hear a hearty, contagious laughter come out of it. And he'll close it. He goes, yeah, isn't that just funny? And he'll open it again, and you'll hear that laughter come out, and he'll close it. It just makes you laugh every time you hear it. Here you go.
Is there a little man in there?
Well, here, look. And he'll open it, and you'll see it's completely empty, and you hear the laugh come out of it. And he'll go, isn't that just contagious?
I'm gonna put the
here you go.
nose inside of the bag.
Okay. It goes in, you open it up, you hear laughter. The nose goes inside of it, you close it. Laughter stops. Okay, I think that's 3 more times. Okay, go ahead and roll.
Oh my goodness, what is even that? That's another 2. 5.
Oh my goodness, man. You are taking all my little prizes away. Tell you what, you keep this up, you're never gonna get the big prize. But anyways, let's see. What else do we got for you? And he'll reach into a box behind him and pull it out. And he'll go, yes, you'll like this one, this here. And he holds it up, and you see it looks like a quill. And he'll hold it at the tip on his finger with the feather up, and it just balances on his finger. Goes, this here. By the way, what is your name? I haven't got your name. You played here so much, I haven't even asked you your name. How rude of me. Raja. This here is called a balancing quill. Now, you see, what it does here is it balances. You see, and he'll again balance it back on his finger. It goes, any surface you put it on, it will balance every single time. He goes, here you go, balancing quill.
Take it. This one's kind of better. That's an 8.
An 8. Ooh. Well,
Can we do acrobatics?
man, you made it a little bit further up than last time. I don't. You might want to take a break. Maybe one of your friends wants to try one of the games. Maybe you need to recover a little bit, because you ain't gonna recover your money. But anyways, here's something that you might find very nice. This, and he pulls it out of the box, and you see a couple different bits of fabric, almost in an arch shape with little bells at the end of it. He goes, this is a jester's hat. Now, it is multicolored cap that has these little jingly bells at the end of the tips. It's a hat. That's what it does.
As he says this, I'm just looking at Jubilee. I'm like, keep your cool.
Jubilee's just.
Eye twitching. Okay.
One more?
Oh, yep. One more will make 7, but I mean, you haven't been doing so well.
It's a
That
6.
face says everything.
It's a 6.
Yep.
Oh, I think, my friend Raja, you might want to take a little break and see what your friends can do at one of the other games. I don't know. Maybe they like this one too. I'll take the money. I'd like the money. But anyways,
Can I?
I will
intimidate him into giving me another try for free because I'm such a loyal customer.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to intimidate, and there are different ways to intimidate. So maybe you want to try that, or diplomacy and try to convince him, or
I think I'll intimidate.
he
Oh,
reaches
Yeah.
he reaches
Raja,
behind, and he grabs a piece of paper. He goes, now this is kind of a new idea. I thought of it myself. I thought it was pretty good, but you see, you've been doing really well. You've been trying really hard, Raja, and that's a good thing. This here, well, we call this a certificate of effort. It is for your diligent effort.
Participation award.
This
you
is
have
your
received a participation trophy.
this is your diligent effort. Now, I do think maybe it would be a good idea to take a little bit of a break. Did you want to go try to intimidate him?
Yeah.
As he's saying this, I come up to Roger. I'm like, well, just wait a second here. I want to give this a shot for a second. And as I'm trying to distract Rajan and the dude, you don't always have to and I kind of give Rajan this look, and I'm trying to just do the look. You don't always have to intimidate people. We do it only when threatened and needed. That just kind of that look. I'm not saying that. It's just that look. You know, we've been adventuring enough together. He should know that look.
What?
I'm like, how about this?
What do you roll?
I look at the.
So
Oh.
first, Raja, are you still going through with the intimidation?
I'll let him go first, and then I will.
Okay.
Depending on how he does.
All right. So I'm looking at the owner. I'm like, hey, let my friend have a little bit of a break. I'm gonna try this. I'm probably not gonna do so well. You know, dwarves are a little clumsy, but it'd be good for a good laugh, if nothing else.
Little clumsy. I don't know if perhaps one of your other friends, they look a little bit more agile. But if you would like, perhaps the strength one would be good for you. But if you want to try this one, 5 silver, I won't stop you.
Yeah, I figure I'd give it a shot. I'm no jester or anything, but I figure if I can give my friends a good laugh here, it'd
Yeah,
be
you
good
give
for
it
the
a
soul.
You give it a shot, I give it a laugh. I'll take your 5 silver. Go ahead and try.
All
I'll give
right.
him the hat in the nose.
What?
I'll give him the hat in the nose. The
For what?
clown nose and jester hat.
Give it to.
You know,
Give it to Vantalord.
just to make it even all the better, I put them on as I'm getting ready to do this.
Okay. So you got this red nose, this gesture hat.
All right. So what am I rolling for?
Dexterity check, yep.
All right. I rolled a 9, which
Okay. A 9. So you get kind of the last handful or last 2 or 3 attempts by Raja. You get not quite halfway up the ladder. And he goes, well, yep. Attempt by you, laugh by all of us. Exactly what you wanted. So let me go ahead and give you, I mean, for Raja there kind of took all of it. I see you wearing the hat. Let me go. Look, I like this one. You can never have enough of them. Here's another red clumsy clown nose.
Just as a joke, I take it off, put it on my thumb, and go.
See? Can never have enough. What would the other two of you, Jubilee and Cricket, what would you like to do?
I think I would like to play this yodeling game.
Okay. What about yourself, Cricket? Are you wanting to do anything, or at any point?
I think after watching Raja get completely hustled by that game and like the joke prizes that exist, I think she very much is like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna watch and let everyone else spend their money on that kind of stuff.
Okay. You're playing the yodeling game, Jubilee?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've never seen you around, but if you would like to give this an attempt, what you got to do is you got to mimic the other sound. So, let's see here. Let's see. I'm kind of new here. Let me read the instructions. I gotta make sure I don't mess it up. Okay, I'm kind of new here.
No, I feel bad for this guy. Yeah.
Let's see. So rules. You gotta pay. Oh yeah. There's the price. This is gonna cost 3 silver.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, you gotta mimic the yodeling sound. Okay. Now look, here's this little box, and there's nothing special about the box, but look, and he pushes a button, and it makes it yodels.
Okay.
And then he pushes again, and it stops yodeling. Like all you gotta do is mimic that.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a mimic, you just mimic it. Haha. Anyways.
I totally expect you to do this. I really do. If I had to dance on camera for a one-shot, you need to yodel.
So go ahead and roll a charisma check. So D20 plus charisma modifier.
Charisma. Okay. A 14?
A 4. Wow. You know, you got pretty close. But it wasn't exactly it. Your pitch was a little bit off. But what you do get, and it'll reach back into a box. You'll go, you see, this here is a musical wind-up toy, and it yodels too. Melodious yodel, wound up, bring it to light. Yep. So you just, as you wind it, it will then play this yodeling.
I can't wait to annoy people with this while they're sleeping.
I just look at Jubilee and I just shake my head.
Do you prefer pots or pans or yodeling?
The yodeling, at least that doesn't pan out.
Wow, I'm used to waking up with a lot of a dog barking, so really the yodeling's not that much different.
Now there are a lot of different things you could win here. There are some other games you can win some pretty nifty things if you're good enough.
What's like the coolest thing you can win?
Oh, I don't. I'm still, like I said, I'm kind of new at this one. Let's see. I see some kind of scarf back here. I'm not sure what that is. There's some kind of stones and some kind of whistles. I heard. Oh wait, and he grabs a whistle and he blows on it, and it perfectly mimics that yodel.
Does that count if you use that whistle?
That's cheating.
Instead
I'm not that new. That's cheating.
Oh. Let's ask first.
Yeah, but any of you can play. You wanna try again there? What is your name?
More. My name is Jester.
Gesture. Ha, that's kind of funny.
Right?
Yeah. That's a weird
You can
name.
see like Cricket hears you use a fake name and is like, interesting. Okay.
Okay, so give it a try, and he plays the sound again, the yodel.
Okay. a 20, but it's not a natural 20. It's an 18 plus 2.
How fantastic. Let's see here. There's some really good stuff in here. Now, I mean, I already showed you the whistle. If you really want that, I'll give it to you. But hey, I'm kind of new, so I'll just pick a different one.
Okay.
So,
How long have you been working for the circus for?
I think it's been like a year now, but I've just never worked this game.
Oh, do I recognize this person at all?
I say, can you tell if he's lying?
roll a history check.
Roll a history check. Let's...
Can I tell if he's lying?
You can roll an insight check.
What is history under?
Knowledge.
Oh, I found it. Just kidding. That is another dirty 20. That's a 19.
Okay. And what'd you get, Vantalord?
I am not saying insight, but I rolled a 14.
Um,
Wait, it's under perception, I bet. No, it isn't. Perception's by itself.
no, I think it has a different name here.
It's called sense motives, I
There
think.
we go. Yep, sense motive.
Oh, with that, then it becomes a 16.
Okay. He seems to be honest, or to whatever extent he believes. He seems to be honest. It's hard to tell. Jubilee, you do recognize him. It's not a face that you're in a lot of communication with. It's not an individual you speak with a lot. But you do recognize him from a couple of the different circuses.
Okay.
So your prize? You want it?
Oh, well, when I talk, does he notice that? Does he recognize the voice or anything, or doesn't? I shouldn't have said anything. Why did I say something?
You start to think about that. He hasn't responded to you in any way.
Okay.
Okay, so, how about I give you this here one? This one. And he picks up a stone. And he goes, this is called an echoing stone. You see, here, let me show you. Check this out. And he lifts it up to your face. Like, he just shoves it into your, like, right in front of your face. He goes, now, say your name.
Jester?
Jester, okay. And then he holds it off to the side, and you just hear it repeat perfectly what you just said. He goes, see, it echoes. It echoes. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is cool.
Here you go. That's yours.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody else want to play anything?
I don't have much of a singing voice. Yeah. And again, the coarseness of my, the dwarven voice probably comes through when I say that.
I'm gonna just keep playing the ladder game.
You spend all of your money on it.
So as he says that, I'm gonna look. I'm like, so should we continue trying to track down Morren so we can go forward with our plan, so we're not distracted by all these games as they hustle us?
I mean, I'm ready.
Roger, how many more times do you want to play? And you can just roll make the rolls.
I wanna go for free.
I mean, you can try. You can.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Because I don't want to play anymore.
So
I just
how
wanna
are
do one more for free.
how are you going to try to intimidate him?
That I'm a loyal customer here, and if he doesn't give me a free try, then I'm gonna go complain to Morren that they're not being very hospitalitous. I don't know what the word is. Hospitality.
Hospitalitous.
Hospitable? Is that the word that you're thinking of?
I really think
Yeah.
it's just hospituitous. now.
Hospituitous.
That's-
Yep.
It's
Yep.
a new word.
Yep.
Make it so.
Go ahead and roll your. That's just.
Is that not enough?
That's more
intimidation?
diplomacy.
Morren's a very scary guy, from what I hear.
Yeah. See, I'm hung up between intimidation or diplomacy, but your motive is to scare him, not so much like negotiate with him. So go ahead and roll your intimidation.
Okay.
Every
I got
action has a
11.
reaction. 11.
24.
24. Okay. So, he goes, well, I mean, you don't have to go and do that. I mean, come on now. It's just a game. It's nothing big. It's, look, if you want to try just one, though. Just one. After that, you got to pay again.
Oh, I got 19 again.
Oh,
So
19.
22.
Ooh. Oh, well. Tell you what. Let's see. You gotta. Yeah. Can't you left for a little bit? Anyways. Let's see here. Yeah. So, let's see. You have this here. And he pulls out this silk fabric, and he opens it up, and you see an embroidery of a map on it. And it's actually a detailed map of the circus. Very quite detailed, and it's very well made, out of nice, pristine silk and embroidered with various colors and very, like I said, very well detailed.
I'll take it. You know what I just realized? I could have probably just taken these prizes after we, like, killed more. Like, if everybody was gone, I could just, like, grab them.
That's possible.
I don't know if that will really be as easy as you think it is.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll go to the group with the map, though.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming, because you said it's very detailed, it has all the animal locations on it.
It has the animals. It has. Let's see here. Go ahead.
Animals.
Not that kind of map. So this is what you see.
Is it labeled at all?
Yep, it's very detailed. So in the upper left corner, you see this here smaller tent. And the smaller tent is labeled House of Mirrors. Down here you have the performance areas. That's where you've been. The games, rides or attractions. The ticket booth area, you see that on the map. You see the big tent. You see the performers area. You see over here the statue. It's even on the map. So consistently this layout is adhered to as much as possible. You don't see the boat rides, assuming that not every place has water. You do see an area on the map for food as well.
Let's go to the next animal station spot.
So the animal holding area that you see is in the back side of the big tent. So you see the entrance on the front side, and then all the other animals are held inside the tent on the far side.
So there's only one out at a time.
Yeah, like in the area that you guys were at, there's one there at a time if there's an animal. Otherwise, it might be a small performance by some performers. And then
That's not going to cause much chaos.
they're left in the tent, presumably, or as Jubilee would know, as a central holding area.
Let's burn down the House of Mirrors.
So while you guys decide what you're going to do, let's go ahead and take our break, and then we will pick up with whatever you guys decide. You can talk over the break if you want. We will stay mic hot as we go into break. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. We have about a little bit left here, about an hour-ish left in our time. So we will be back in about 5 minutes.
Okay, roger that.
How's it going, Katie? Yeah. Isn't that just how it works, though? And in this here, it's actually more in your favor because it's a roll of the dice. Like you ain't never getting a ring on a bottleneck. Like that just doesn't happen. I cannot do that for the life of me. Yes, they very much are. What is your acrobatics? What's your... Well, and so these games are all based on your stat modifiers. So like your deck, they're all checks, yeah. Dex check or charisma check or... Oh? Yeah, chaotic, fabulous RPG. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead. Yeah, it's perfect timing for you guys to join. We are just on a small couple-minute break, and we will be back. We are currently in a circus. Can or cannot hear us on this screen. Oh. Yes, that does make sense because I did not add the input on this screen. Yeah, no, that makes sense. We added the input, right? Audio capture input. It's because I added it to all the other screens, but not this one. Yeah, I gotta figure out the volume setting because the viewers were saying it was too loud. So I gotta balance them. So
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, but I don't think we can actually. I couldn't hear anything though, even quietly.
well, that's.
But I can still see it, so that's good.
Yeah, that's.
Amanda, you should be able to hear us now. Please let us know if you can. Welcome, Chaotic, Fabulous RPG. Thank you for the scribe. Yes, I forgot to add the audio to this screen, so it's good now.
You missed Chaotic Fabulous RPG. I said that your name is very appropriate for how we are acting at the moment.
Yeah, I'll do some brainstorming. So we gotta think of something for.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, she said, "Yep, can hear them now." Oh, you're talking about the Tailspire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you, the players, hear the music?
No.
Okay. So then if I turn, hold on. So if I turn that down and I turn this one up. Why is music?
And you got your default audio output set to the. So if you change system sounds, this default audio output should be applications. Hold on. Do.
Can you guys hear any music now?
No.
No?
I don't know.
But wait.
I can imagine circus music sounds in my head.
Oh wait, now I hear it.
Oh!
So if I turn this down, I'm pretty sure this is going to be loud for you viewers, so sorry, just trying to work this out while we finish up the last minute of the break. Can you guys hear the audio now?
I started to hear something, but now...
Yeah.
So if I turn that down and I turn this one...
Started to hear it. It's just crazy because we had it working when I remoted in yesterday.
So I adjusted it earlier because they were saying that it was really loud.
Well, the Tailspire, that could be the audio input capture of apps.
Oh, I suppose.
And then, because then you'd have the zoom from players, which would be us.
Yeah.
And
we'll have to fine tweak that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not a huge deal, I think.
Yeah.
There's been a few sessions where Rory's like, yeah, the audio would have really helped, you know.
Yeah.
But I say, I don't like to give up easily, and something's being weird, so I'll figure it out.
And I do
Welcome to my brain.
Skylar is probably back on the couch.
Oh, you're super quiet now.
It's like regular quiet, but he's wearing a cape.
How about now?
More.
Quiet?
Yeah,
Yep.
still quiet.
Am I still quiet?
That's better.
A little bit
It's
better.
better, but you could be louder still.
How about now?
Better.
Yeah, there you go. You're back
Perfect.
to normal. Yeah. It
Well-
was weird because it was fine for the whole part, and then it was just suddenly very
Yeah,
quiet.
I'm still
Rory.
getting. Well, I turned down the wrong knob on this mixer, so
Yeah, I'll.
Oh my gosh. John just said we prefer Rory being quiet.
hey now.
No, hey, John, you misspelled Tom. No.
Okay, so I believe that Skylar's probably hanging out somewhere in the background, so he'll pop up.
There he
Yep.
is. He literally popped up.
There's a couch behind that virtual image there. So we will come back. Let's see here. Bam. All right. So we left off with each of you at the game area, now deciding with Raja having this very detailed map of the area, where you're wanting to go. What you're wanting to do. You have a riddle in hand, a map in hand, a
What's the
statue
riddle?
that's
Sorry.
Can we hear
curious.
the riddle one more time?
Oh, is that the one on the base?
Yes.
That's yeah.
Okay. So it says this: within the realm of twisted sight, where left is right and day is night, a pane of truth does gleam so bright. Reflect on the guardians of might and reveal the sigils hidden from sight.
We need to go to the House of Mirrors, I think.
Oh.
Well, we can also release the animals, but I'm pretty sure we also have to go to the House of Mirrors.
What is this riddle that y'all are talking about? Where'd you find something like this?
Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on.
So I saw
Come here.
this yesterday on
Yeah,
a
just
statue.
like lean in close.
Yeah, we should do this in a more private place.
Oh, sneaky talk! You want a sneaky talk?
talking. For once, I'm the one requesting sneaky talk.
I just look at Jubilee and I just laugh a little bit.
That's what I live for, to make people laugh. I'm glad.
So as she says that, I want to start walking down the path with Jubilee and them saying, hey, let's find an area where it's a little less busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And then
As
that
you
way
guys
Jubilee
find
can
it-
explain.
yeah, so you guys start walking and finding a way, and eventually you find an area that's a little bit quieter.
Alright, so, long story short, I'm going to give you the abridged version because there's the extended editions and then there's the regular editions. So the extended editions are the ones that everybody should know about, the ones that are way more fun, but we're going to go for the ones that are like the shorter version. So, I was a part of the circus for a while, and you can't really tell because I have this disguise on right now, but underneath all of this I actually have clown makeup tattooed on my face because I was born into the circus, and that we're getting into the extended editions. There is a curse put on all of us that work here, and we're trying to break it, and there is a statue outside the owner's tent that has this riddle on it, and we think that it has something to do with it. So we're going to try to figure it out.
Well, color me intrigued, that's for sure. Also, I'm
What
very
color
curious.
is intrigued?
I was just gonna make that joke, dang it.
You know, that is a great question. I think maybe intrigued is some sort of like a burnt orange color.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Anyways,
that.
yeah, that riddle, that's interesting. And also, yeah, I feel like I have more questions than answers, but that makes sense. All right, well, if there's anything, maybe I can mull it over a little and think of something that helps with it too. Or if you think we need to go somewhere specific for it,
Well,
we could do
that's
that.
why. So if you think about it, I'm thinking House of Mirrors because left is right, so it flips things, right? Like your mirror you're looking in, it's the flip version. So like if you hold up your right hand, it looks like your left hand from the other side. And then gleam, pane of truth that's gleam so bright would be like glass, right?
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Twisted sight, and day is night, it's dark in their problem.
And then it says reflect on the guardian's might, which reflections in a mirror, right?
Right, maybe there's
I'm trying
yes.
to read the DM's face right now.
He doesn't have words on his face.
I wonder if there's some sort of like hidden thing, like you have to like, if it's like it says reveal it, like maybe you have to like shine a light or something like that. I mean, maybe if we go see inside, we'll have a better idea.
Right. So do we want to do animals first, or do we want to do House of
Well,
Mirrors first?
I still want to do the animals, but I am a little bit intrigued by this riddle that you have. It's definitely very perplexing, and I'm kind of curious what it means.
Jubilee, I think you're on to something with the House of Mirrors.
Me too.
Well, and perhaps also
Obviously.
if you think this sort of statue or riddle is connected to the curse that you're talking about, then perhaps it can even help us if we solve this first. Then maybe we can, have more people who are willing to be on our side for shutting down the whole operation.
That's true.
What's
House
the
of Mirrors it
electric
is?
It's just
House
part
of
of the
Mirrors.
picture. Yeah.
So we just need to figure out what the guardian is.
Like on the Guardian's might. Maybe it's like the House of Mirrors of something.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, the statue looked like a knight. Looked like a. Maybe they're referring to that as the guardian, but let's start with the House of Mirrors.
Maybe we
Yeah.
need to steal a mirror or something. I mean, maybe and like bring it there or something like that.
Oh, or maybe.
Or can we take the statue? Is it really big? It's probably really big.
No,
huh?
it's like really big.
It's
and very heavy.
Very.
Oh,
it's-
okay, all right.
It's taller than me.
Oh
I
yeah.
just
That's
A
kinda
lot
sho-
of things are taller
Wait,
than you, though.
I
sho-
just realized. Hold on a second. Didn't you say you were only 4'9"? I like
Yeah.
looked down at you like, oh, all right, yeah, well.
And of course, I'm saying that laughing as I say that.
Yeah. Contextually, that
Oh.
doesn't help very much.
I like her a lot.
Y'all seem like pretty fun folk to be around. That, yeah, I can't say I've spent that much time with people, but you all seem like a good group.
We
do our
try.
best.
All right, well, to the House of Mirrors, lead the way, Mr. Raja, with the map.
Oh, I'll put the map down and I'll just walk in because the map doesn't go into the house.
I don't want to be in charge of this.
I'll just walk forward.
All right.
So you put the map down, like on the ground, or what do you mean by put the map down?
Or like I'll put it in my bag.
Okay.
All right.
I
So
still
you-
need to trade my stuff in, don't you worry. It's gonna happen. Probably.
And you would know from what he was saying that it's like having a small, medium, and large, right? And large you might need 3 large, but you might need 6 small ones, right? So there's a
Yeah.
value to the different ones. So, yep. So you cross over the small bridge over to where the House of Mirrors are. And as you approach the area, it seems like the rest of the place, there are slightly less people here. It seems like maybe it's more of a evening attraction. Jubilee, you would know that typically the circus crew starts to really hype it up. It's open all day, but it really starts to hype it up more at night. And so as you approach it, let's see. You see a large, what looks like a red curtain that, come on, hangs in the front of it, and walling on the inside. You can tell from where you're standing that it's darker on the inside.
Ooh, this looks cool.
Oh, I lost myself. There we go. And so
That looks so scary for no reason.
as you enter in, you do see a set of mirrors. Between mirrors and paintings, various different candles in different areas. When you first immediately walk in, it's absolutely silent.
Silence.
There's no music or anything.
Nope. You do see that it looks like the hallway splits left and right.
This looks so cool.
It looks very cool. Oh, it's so spooky. I love it. It's like a haunted house.
I was gonna say, is this a house of mirrors or is
Yeah.
this like real haunted?
Yeah. Is it dark in here too? Like even though it's daytime outside?
It is dark in here. There's a top. There's walls. There's no windows. The lighting that's being provided is from various candles. You can see some candles that are above the mirrors or on the floor. Some that are on top of shelving.
At one point, didn't I hear you say something, Raja, about burning this place down? It doesn't seem to be too hard. They have a lot of open flames everywhere.
Yeah.
This is just one big invitation.
It really is.
Can I?
Wait, guys! Before you start looking at burning things, I think Cricket was onto something about bringing a mirror to the statue. So I want to look for a small mirror that's something that I could probably hide it right behind my cape, or that way, if we burn this place down, we probably need one of these mirrors if we have to shine it on the statue.
Perhaps we could also just take a look around here. Like there might be something that looks like a guardian here too.
I was going to say I don't necessarily want to destroy anything because I feel like, for once, I'm trying to be not destructive, and I think that it might be important to look in all of the mirrors just in case one does something different than another one. Like maybe there's one that is reversed, or like what if you can step into one?
That's a good idea.
I've never seen a mirror that does that, but that sounds
I haven't either, but maybe we're gonna find out today.
right. Maybe
Well,
it's possible.
We can really see ourselves looking at these mirrors.
Do you guys put up with this all day long?
Yes.
Should we split up or stick together?
How big did the tent look from the outside, Rory?
Decent size. I mean, you're not walking into something huge.
Like big enough I could get lost in it?
Not so much.
Okay.
Like 60, 80 feet.
Okay.
you know.
Still pretty decent size though.
It's decent size, yeah.
But you know what? It didn't look like this place is so large that if we yelled or something for help, you know, if we weren't all together, we'd probably still be able to hear each other and come running pretty quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's like less than 30 yards on the field.
Good analogy.
That shrinks it all down for me. 'Cause 30 yards is not that far.
Or a very short chip onto a putting green.
I don't know what any of these measurements are. I know bodybuilding stages. That's it.
It's
That's not 30 yards.
It's about
I mean,
15 barbells long.
the-
Okay, that is helpful.
there you go. There you go.
I never thought that'd be a measurement, but there we go.
What happens when we're
How
all
many
like,
barbells long is this?
Yeah, visually impaired and cannot imagine what 80 feet is or 60, 80 feet is.
So, how do you guys proceed?
Well, I can also send Bear here. I don't think I properly induced you to Bear. That was a mistake on my part. That's for sure Cricket would have done that right away. But this here is my dog Bear, and he like walks up and like sits in front of you and puts out a paw to like let you shake his hand or his paw.
I
if you want.
shake his hand. Why not?
I'll pet him. I won't shake his hand. I'll just like.
He
scratch him.
he appreciates that too. Yeah, this is Bear, and he's sort of like my best friend, and so if anything happens, I'm sure he can run and find you all as well. He's pretty good at tracking people, and I think it'd be pretty easy to sniff you out in here, or vice versa if we need to run to each other.
Do we feel like our best option is to split up?
Well,
We could cover more ground.
Thanks to the real long shot. 33 months subscribed. Awesome.
so to recap, just for my own brain, I look at Julie and like, so we want to look for a mirror that seems that it's way different from the others, or something that we could potentially go through.
Right.
Or
So if you think like the way you hear in those stories all the time, like when you're in a library and there's one book that looks out of place and you pull on it and then it reveals something else, right? Like same idea, but there might be one mirror in here where like you hold up your right hand and instead your reflection holds up their left hand or something.
okay, that's what I'm looking for. I was just verifying my own sanity.
I am not the person to do that with.
Well, I know that, but you verified my train of thought.
Okay.
My
that's
card
different.
of thought.
Okay, so how do you proceed?
No.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of passages here in different directions we could go. So, you know, maybe we could be a little more thorough if we each sort of take a spot.
Is it bright enough that we can all see?
Yep, it's just very dim lighting. So even if someone doesn't have dark vision or low light vision or anything like that, it's still light enough to be able to see, but it is still dim nonetheless.
So
Okay,
do we
I'm
want to
okay.
split like two to the right, two to the left?
I think that's a good idea. I don't think going individual is a good thing, but I think maybe splitting it in teams of two.
I am gonna take off my shirt.
Okay. And so when Raja takes off his shirt, the brightness enhances even more. From his back, you see this a very elegant phoenix that has been tattooed on his back. And from that, it's illuminating light. Very new to you, Cricket. And even for the other two.
Yeah, I've never seen glowing tattoos before.
So it's the brightness of a torch. So it's going to be behind him, 20 feet of bright light, and then 10 feet of dim. Or 20 feet of dim, 10 feet of bright. In front of him, it's just going to be 10 feet of dim, because literally it's on his back. So that does enhance the brightness in his proximity quite a bit.
Well, that's a real interesting tattoo you have there, Raja.
Yeah. The lady that gave it to me got kidnapped by the circus probably. Like 2 days ago. 3 days ago.
Wow, the circus really is not. Every time you all tell me more information about it, I'm more on board with doing whatever we can to get to dismantle the whole thing.
As she says that, I look at them like, so how do we want to split up? I say, should Raja and I each do a different way? And then I look at the ladies, I'm like, Cricket, Jubilee, who do you want to team up with?
What are we like picking teams? Is this dodgeball?
No. What's dodgeball?
Are you the captain of the team here?
I was just trying to keep things even.
Oh, well, why don't you pick who you want to team up with then?
I figured be a gentleman and let the ladies decide.
I say Cricket and I go together and you go with Raja.
Okay.
That works for me.
Why not?
Also, just when we start to like depart, how I'm gonna cast light on my staff that I carry with me,
Okay.
and just go like, well, this is what I normally do if I need to see something in the dark. So hopefully this helps us a little bit. I don't have glowing tattoos, but at least we'll be able to see something too.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
Vantalord, do you have dark vision as well?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna put my shirt back on.
I'm a dwarf.
The
It's a
illumi-
racial ability.
the illumination from Raja goes away, and almost the equivalent, but actually slightly better, illumination from Cricket comes up because there's no coverage for that illumination. So, Cricket, your illumination is 2010 all the way around, unless you block it. And Raja, you put your shirt back on. Both of you can see in the dark just fine.
Yeah. As
Perfect.
far as I know, Cricket and Jubilee cannot see in the dark, so it's just gonna...
Yeah, I can't see in the dark either, but this works just fine for me normally.
There we go.
Well,
And
so these like little torches that are around, they're removable or they're like attached to sconces or?
some are just on shelving. Some are just sitting on the floor.
I'm going to pick up something to carry with us.
Okay.
Let's just take all the canvas.
So if in order to move forward, you can on the left hand side. There's some candles over there. Are the two groups wanting to proceed inward now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Jubilee, as you go forward to grab that candle, suddenly everyone begins to hear music.
Oh,
in
I
the
don't like it
background.
at all. Oh.
Jubilee, you now have a candle in hand to walk around with. The music that everyone starts to hear, man, I wish you could actually hear it.
Like creepy music box music. That's what I'm picturing. in
Yeah,
my
me
head.
too.
Picture that. Yep. So it's very similar to that.
Chat. No, thank you.
You start to hear this. Yes, that's the best way to say it because I don't know how to describe it. Basically, you're hearing creepy music box sounds.
Cool.
As you do, you start to hear this underlying tone, though, of a different sound. As that one fades out, another one fades in, and you're gonna hear this ebb and flow. Just gotta thank you to ads.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's horrible. I hate it.
Amanda is freaking out.
So, and everyone else, audience should be, Mad Chatters, you should be able to hear this. But you start to hear this piano sound that starts to take over, key by key. And along with that, you start to hear a whistling as it plays, because I'm pretty sure you guys can't hear this.
No. Madness. Well, this is
Whistling, we can't hear.
Yeah,
Ah,
I think
crap.
it's
Okay.
yeah.
So, for you guys, since you can't hear it, you're hearing key by key by key of Row Row Your Boat.
Ew! Ew! Ew!
One key. Do, 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 and you're hearing a whistling that's going along with it. And then eventually that plays a cycle through. And then the other music.
Oh, Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes.
I can only
That's-
imagine what this is doing
I was-
to
I feel
Julie's
like-
head.
Ring Around the Rosie is worse. That's
It-
like.
Sorry, yes, I was debating between the two, but yes, it's Ring Around the Rosie that you guys are hearing.
Ugh, that's even worse somehow.
Key by key by key. Well, probably because it's Origins. Key by key.
Yeah.
And then the other music kicks back in. So good to know that they can hear it. And this music it's more chipper and upbeat, yet still kind of that creepy sound to it.
And I look at I just look at the group. I'm like, well, we're still on a mission. Let's try to keep our nerves. Let's see if we can find any odd mirrors that I think what Jubilee said about doing the opposite of what we're doing. And let's get out of here as quick as we can.
Yes, please.
And maybe right as we leave, we burn the place down.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Thanks, I hate it.
I don't blame you.
And so you each take a different direction. Now, just kind of is your general purpose to walk through so that you don't have to like go step by step through this? Like, what is the agenda of Cricket and Jubilee? You walk into this one, there's a candle up on the wall. There's one just randomly on the floor. Things are constantly out of place and in disorder. What you would normally expect to see, right? Like you wouldn't think that a candle is just going to be on the ground. And there's one in front of blank canvases. Right? So it's framed. It seems like there should be a picture there, but it's just blank. Over to the side, there's mirrors. Jubilee, you look into one and you see the reflection in it. Remember, you guys, ain't no medic. You see your reflection in the mirror, and when you walk away from it, it's like you come out. Literally, so just give me a second, third one. Literally, as you walk away from the mirror, you walk out of it.
No! No, don't! No, I don't!
That doesn't happen.
So she's beside herself.
Oh my god.
So you back up and you have yourself face to face. Cricket, you are in the end of this this little passageway. Behind you are those blank portraits and the candle on the ground. In front of you, you have the two Jubilees looking identical to each other.
Jubilee, what happened?
Do I know that this is happening? Am I looking at this right now?
Oh,
Or am
you
I
are
walking
looking at
away
it
from the
face to
mirror?
face. It is looking just like you.
Does the other thing, is it mimicking her movement or like sound?
Every little bit.
Sound too? Like there's sound coming out of it?
She brings her hands together and it brings its hands together and it covers his face and it.
What if you try moving
Rory,
closer
that's
again?
the worst part.
Does it go back into the mirror if you move closer? Maybe close your eyes.
You
or
start to
something.
move closer to it.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
I would punch
Okay.
it.
As you move, Jubilee, as you start to move closer to it. 1 second. Thank you, ads. As you start to move closer to it, then you see it kind of break, mimicking of you,
Oh my god.
and it leans in and looks at you and goes, "Hello."
Immediately. So, first I'm probably gonna scream really loud. And then I guess,
Honestly, I'm just trying to think of what she would probably do, and that would probably just be straight up backhanded.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
And so go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh god, it's really bad. Do I have like an
Talk about
unarmed
knocking
strength?
yourself
I
out.
don't know.
Yeah, strength.
It's gonna be
modifier?
1d4 plus strength modifier.
Oh god.
But it's gonna be you roll to hit first.
Right.
Yeah.
So your
Oh,
d20 plus
okay.
strength modifier.
That's a 17.
What is your AC?
She's gonna knock herself out.
Oh my god, what is my AC? Where do I find that? I've never been hit by anything. since
on your
my-
main
Oh my
page.
god, it's a 12!
Okay. You bring your hand up and you just whap right across
No!
the face, and you see her you land a solid hit on her head, and her head just cranks to one side. And it just pulls back.
God.
What is this
Now-
place you
now-
brought me,
now-
Jubilee?
That's not very nice of you. I don't think you'd like me to do that to you. And we will come back to you.
Boy, I bet you're glad that you You don't have one of us with you, huh? Someone with a sword.
So, Vantalord and Raja, as you are walking down during this time, you see various different passageways, hallways. Where do you want to go?
I look at Raj and I'm like, well, I'm guessing there's only one way in or one way out, so it doesn't matter which way we go. Let's start with the left. I'm sure eventually it'll lead us around.
Yeah, we'll just walk.
Like up, down, like which way from where you're currently at?
Yeah, so the direction that Raj is facing, so it'd be up.
Up? Okay. Okay. So the two of you walk up, and you do notice in this area, it's a pretty barren area. What you do immediately notice is a candle stand that looks like it would normally be up on a platform, like a base with a tall pole. It's like that pole's been sunken into the ground. Again, just these absurdities, these abnormalities. Abnormalities. I'm just like you, Skylar. You're like me. Abnormalities. I don't know, but it's just not normal, right? So you see that, and then as you turn down...
Wait, I want to... Looking at that, because I'm guessing I would definitely notice that, because, again, my family background is working in the king's court, protecting the king. A lot of those style torches I would see from my past. I want to go try and pick it up. Because if it's sucking down, I just want to see. Is it enforcers that actually just freestanding there without a proper base?
It looks like it's in the ground, like the bottom of it's spiked, and it's probably in the ground a couple inches. Looks like
It's
a prop that just been put there. If that makes sense.
I want to pick it up. Yeah, but
Okay.
again, it's
So this 3 candle stand, you pick it out of the ground. You get a small spike at the bottom where it's stuck into the
Alright.
ground, and you're holding that in your hand now.
so I'm looking at it like I've seen scotches like this before, but they're usually on a tall pedestal. That's kind of weird, and I just jab it back down on the ground. I'm like, I'm gonna think on this for a little bit.
Okay. As the two of you start to head further down this area, it's not all that big.
Do they hear shrieking coming from the opposite end of this place?
They don't.
They don't?
Well, not that you know that. I guess you don't know is how I should have
Okay,
answered that.
okay.
Yeah.
When you walk down, at the end you see another one, and Vantalord, this one does have a base to it, but what you also see at the end here is a piano. And this piano is slightly broken. You can tell that the lid on it, other areas, it's been moved, it's been broken, it's not in good condition. And again, as you approach this area, you start to hear another sound.
Do I notice anything with the mirrors as far as them doing the opposite of what I'm doing?
Not so far, you haven't.
Okay.
One second. So you start to hear this piano. You even see this piano, the keyboard on there, start to key by key play. And it sounds out of tune, and it sounds broken, and it sounds like it's just not playing correctly. And suddenly the keys stop. And again, you begin to hear the familiar tune of Ring Around the Rosie, key by key. And you see each key down, up, down. And this whistling starts to come back. And this, all of you can hear.
I'm looking at the piano. Go
What?
for it, Roger.
What, Raja?
Can I twist the mirror towards it? Like, so that
Yeah.
face is facing me.
Yep, so you can come up to this standing mirror here. This piano would be right there where that candle is. And and you can grab it, and sure enough, it's just leaning against it, and you twist it towards the piano. That's what you're saying, right? And you just see a reflection of the piano, and the keys are playing. You don't see anything else. And then finally, the keys stop. The whistling of Ring Around the Rosie stops, and that same familiar tune that you've been hearing kicks back in.
What would happen if I tried to play a few notes on the piano?
You go up and try?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when you do, they play. It sounds horrible. Like no one's gonna make this piano sound good. Like it's broken. The keys, some of the keys don't even play. Some of the same keys that aren't playing for you were playing before.
Yeah.
I look at Raj. I'm like, let me try something. I want to play the same notes as the piano, but an octave higher. I want to mimic the piano. Even though I know there's going to be a delay, I want to do it an octave higher.
Yeah. And so you try and you experience the exact same thing as Raja. Some of the keys.
Even
work.
with the, but I say I want to do whatever key I
Yep.
see move. I want the exact same thing.
Same result.
Okay.
And it would seem like some of their strings are broken. Some play, some don't, and none of them play well. And with that, we will go ahead and end our session for today.
No, my God.
With that being said, we do still have stream MVP to do. So let me go ahead and pause this funhouse music. You guys will have to go back and listen to the VOD just to...
Oh no, I unmuted it.
Oh yeah, I unmuted.
Oh,
it was
you-
a mistake. It was.
That was why, if you watch this back, it's just me like this.
Yeah, you will see me just go.
Amanda's like, no, I don't. I quit.
Even my better half is going, no.
No,
No.
Oh, has there been music playing?
not for you. Unfortunately, not for you guys, but for the mad
My-
chatters through Twitch, it does.
Yeah. So, still something my brain needs to work through with Rory. Just
Yes,
because
we'll
it's
get
really
there.
weird.
We'll get there. But for stream MVP and Katie, I know you're new to. Well, I don't know. You're not necessarily new to it.
I'm not new to it. Yeah, I
You
know.
get
I
it.
know what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Perfect. So we will have each of you state why you should be stream MVP, or why your character should be what for this session. And Manda will get the poll up there after all of that. And Manda, if you throw it in the chat, I should have asked you before stream if we have a TS license or another giveaway. But while we wait for that, Katie, you're new to the group now, so how about you go first? Why should Cricket be stream MVP?
Sure. Well, obviously, Cricket is a new addition to the group and just starting to learn a little bit about everyone, and also decide how she feels about them. But I think, initially, kind of coming in hot was like, yeah, let's free this random griffin, and helpfully cast speak with animals so that she could talk to the griffin and make sure that I wasn't gonna freak out or do anything crazy, especially with Jubilee on its back, and also just sort of like going along with everything that they are interested in doing, and hopefully gonna be a little bit of a help in their future plans of taking down the circus.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to Vantalord. Why should you be stream MVP?
Oh, let's see here. I would say, if nothing else, trying to keep people on task of the original plan of recon, freeing the animals, killing Morren. Even though obviously we've squirreled so hard, still trying to remind people that, hey, this is the main mission.
Okay. And Raja.
Raja should be stream MVP because he got prizes from the carnival game and is so good at it that he got 7 gifts. 8 gifts.
Yeah, you won a
You
few
got
prizes.
prizes.
Yep.
Even though you gave 2 of them to me.
Yeah. Those ones are irrelevant to life.
Oh yeah, you got quite a few little prizes there from that game. You were rocking it.
Got the lucky coin,
Yep.
map, and the laughing bag.
Yep. Jubilee, why should you be stream MVP?
Well, I just dragged everybody into this creepy haunted house of mirrors, so I don't know if I should be, to be honest with you.
If you get it, it splits among the rest of us 3. No, sorry, I couldn't help it.
But I did help to free the griffin. I did unpin him and filled Cricket in on our plans. So now we've got a new friend.
Yeah. And the vote is up, so go ahead and cast your vote for whoever you think should have that. Let's go ahead and show them mad support. Remember, voting for Stream MVP does give them, at this point, 500 XP, so it does help them. What's up?
Also got the balancing quick.
Ah, that's right. Whether you think it was for their RP or for their combat or avoidance of combat or whatever it was, for whatever reason you think they should be Stream MVP, go ahead and cast that vote. Right now we are at 2, 2, 1, and 0. So we do have a tie right now. About half the time left. And while we wait for that, what was your, let's see, Jubilee, you had a bit of a visceral experience. What was Jubilee's thought?
Well, Taylor's throat hurts from shrieking.
Yeah, your mic cut out for a little bit.
Too high pitched. It was like, we're not going to make everybody deal with this. I mean, Jubilee's thoughts are definitely like, I knew that the circus was capable of some weird stuff. I didn't know it was like this. I think that's probably where she's at right now.
Yeah.
Because I was not... Did I expect some weird horror movie stuff where I turned around and it stayed facing the same way? Sure. Did I expect to address myself? No.
What about you, Cricket? Where's Cricket at this moment?
I think she
we still have
is...
a tie. Cricket and Raja, 3-3. Go ahead.
Cricket deserves it.
Wow.
Raja played way more games than Cricket. I think that she is taking it all in at the moment. I think she pretty feels comfortable around these people, surprising herself maybe a little bit in that. But the second that thing popped out of the mirror, it was like, this is something that I have never seen. I honestly think she is just in shock. I did not know how to respond because I don't know that she knows how to respond. You know, when you're paralyzed in fear, I feel like fight or flight or freeze.
Yeah.
She is freeze. She's just what's happening?
All right. We do have a tie between Cricket and Raja. So, Amanda, if you could throw those two back up there. Look like you just did that. Awesome. So we're going to have a tiebreaker for Cricket and Raja. So let's go ahead and cast that vote again. Everyone, if you would, cast this tie-breaking vote. While they do that, Raja, where's Raja at in this moment? Seeing the piano play, hearing this acoustic sound throughout. Where's Raja?
Is the coolest thing in the world. Because the piano's playing by itself.
Is that why he played it? Or why did Raja choose to play the piano?
Because it's fun. It's gonna sound bad anyway.
All right.
I wanted to just like break it.
Mm.
That's when I knew I had to like not do anything.
4-3 currently 4-3 Cricket and Raja. And Cricket, you got stream MVP by 1. So
Woohoo!
I'll send out XP later, but you'll go ahead and you can add 500 to your XP right now. And Vantalord, let's go ahead and wrap it up with you before we we raid into Jay. So everyone hang with us for just another minute. We're going to raid into Jay after Vantalord explains where he's at in this current moment.
As a player, you're killing me on the inside. An out-of-tune piano self-playing for, like, you already know I'm a musician. So hearing an out-of-tune piano that's playing by itself, playing creepy music, is killing me on the inside.
I love of all of the things, like, it's just the fact that it's out of tune and creepy.
Yeah.
That you're like, no.
Not the horror part or anything like that. No, just
that is horror for me. That is horror for me.
So how about for Vantalord? Where is he at?
But for Vantalord, I'm trying to just trying to figure out the puzzle, how to get this puzzle involved and fixed. That is what is going through my head. Is I'm trying to find anything I can to lift this curse. Because as a paladin, I'm lawful good. I want things running very well. So that's what's going nuts.
Perfect. Well, with that, we will go ahead and raid into Jay. So hang out with us as we raid into him in 7 seconds or so. So thank you all for joining us. Remember, on Tuesday we have Greyhawk Awakening, and on Wednesday we have Lore Master Arcanum. Friday on Discord we have Friday Night Crusades. Next Sunday we'll have another mega stream with Tears of Air and Fall of Red Dawn. And then
it looks like your raid isn't the right place.
It's tabletop.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Let's cancel that. Raid. Why did that? Okay, there we go. Jay. Start raid. Okay. And then
What's happening next Sunday?
Tears of Air is every Sunday, and Fall of Red Dawn every other Sunday, unless we run into a reschedule. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and hang with us as we join Jay now.
Thanks all for welcoming me.
Yeah.
Yay! We love having you. I'm so excited.
Just remember, if you're not subbed, hit that button.